Appreciate it.
Well, sorry. Okay. Thank you, Eni. And next up, Temitayo will give a brief history of TFONT and MATIF.
Mr. Jones founded Make a Difference Youth Foundation in 1992 as college preparation for high school students living in Chicago. This organization was made to help youth gain an appreciation for knowledge and advance in education. Mr. Johnny's concept was to build a structure to train students for student leadership. The team participants worked as officers and were taught to organize, plan, and arrange a meeting. And MADIF has since moved to Arkansas and has gained more students looking to enhance their education at young ages. Make a Difference has been going strong since it was formed in 1992. Over 70% of the students that participated in the College Bound program have graduated college with a 4-year degree or are currently attending college. MADIF has brought people such as Karime Bolivar, Albert Bolivar, Abia Deleke, Arifa Samadelushimo, Farouk Adigun, Lara Adigun, Kaide Awanaike, and Timilulua Arena to graduate from high school successfully. And now we're adding another wonderful person to the list, Stephanie Escobar.
Well, thank you, Temitayo. And let's all give a quick round of applause to Eni and Temitayo. Okay. And next up, we will have Doris Young, and she will give a brief introduction to tonight's guest speaker, Ms. Hayes.
Hello, everyone. So, Aston Hayes is a Chicago-based sales and marketing specialist whose energy and passion are both inspiring and contagious. She holds dual degrees in media management and Africana studies from the University of Miami and a master's in PR and advertising from DePaul University. Aston has taken the time to hone her skills in logistics, promotions, and event planning, and is always creating new ways to connect her clients with their target audience. Her career extends to working for the likes of Bank United Center, Vibe Magazine, Chicago Cares, Inc., and Clear Channel Media and Entertainment. After 4 years with CCME, Aston was promoted to Marketing and Promotions Coordinator, where she created, executed, or managed multiple major events such as concerts, live listener experiences, street team promotions, and more. Currently, Aston is a key account manager for Remy Cointreau, where she creates and maintains business in over 50 accounts in the Chicagoland area. She loves her jobs because it allows her to do what she does best: create, complete, network, and still feed her entrepreneurial spirit. Aston's biggest achievement to date is adding app developer to her list of accomplishments. The founder and CEO of Tip Off Gaming app, which is a game of blacklisted words that is similar to Taboo, but for you. The inspiration for the app is to bring people together using culture and technology in an organic way. Recognizing the importance of community and cultural involvement, Aston is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Inc., as well as a founding member of the Remy Cointreau Diversity Council Steering Committee. Aston is a dedicated University of Miami Hurricanes fan and alum, as she serves as secretary on the Black Alumni Society. Recently, she won the 2019 Chicago Culture Award and Chicago Defender Woman of Excellence Award for her work in the tech industry. In her spare time, she enjoys traveling, planning events, working out, and baking. And without further ado, Miss Aston Hayes.
Now I have to be off of mute. Thank you, Doris. I appreciate that. Okay, so before I begin, and I'll let you guys know I'm very informal, so we're just gonna have fun this evening. But before I begin, I wanna shout out one of the most dedicated and giving people that I know, Mr. Johnny Jones. So I met Johnny randomly at an event, and he recruited me on the spot. I was with my mother, and to Make a Difference Youth Foundation. And it was one of the reasons why serving others is such a big part of who I am today. So to Johnny, I would like to quote our great POTUS, Michelle Obama: "Our greatness has come from people who expect nothing and take nothing for granted. Folks who work hard for what they have and reach back and help others after them. You are indeed a great man, Mr. Johnny Jones." So thank you. So now for our guest of the hour. Stephanie Escobar, I've not had the honor of meeting you, but I'm sure you are a great person if you were in this organization. So anyway, from Doris, I was told I had 20 minutes to talk about what I wanted, but I will not hold you for 20 minutes in the world of Zoom. That's going to be 10 minutes for me. And my attention span is short, and I'm sure some of you guys are too. But so I just want to have fun and talk about something that's near and dear to you and something that has revolutionized the world, the social network. So when I say the social network, I'm not necessarily speaking of Facebook and IG, TikTok, or Twitter. I'm speaking of good old-fashioned networking. Something that many people have gotten away from, hiding behind a screen. To me, networking is a way of life. I'm in sales and I am in technology. I have to pitch often. But fortunately, it is something that no matter what your race, religion, gender, or cultural background, you can learn and cultivate how to best network. Yes, outgoing social extroverts, which I happen to be an extrovert, we make it look easy, but how do you think we become that way? It's just something that we're not predisposed to being charming communicators, but we just realize the beauty and the benefit of connecting with other human beings. And I'm sure after being on lockdown during the pandemic, that has opened a lot of people's eyes to just how important it is to connect with people, whether that's physically or digitally. So today I'd like to just share a few tips that I've learned over the years about networking. So we'll start, the first one will be, what's in a name? So a good friend of mine that teaches special ed kindergarten once told me that someone's name is the most important thing that an individual can remember about them. So just think about it. Your name is probably one of the first things you responded to as an infant. Even when you couldn't speak, you still responded to your name. So as an adult, when you remember someone's name, spell and say it correctly, or at least attempt to, it goes a long way. In college, I was bad at remembering names until I attended a workshop about it. It's been said that saying anything at least 3 times will help you to remember it. So I would always go out of my way to ask someone's name and actually listen to their name when they say it. I will repeat the name back for clarification, and then I attempt to say that person's name as much as I possibly can in our conversation without sounding like I'm weird or anything like that. But it really does work. And it works well when dealing with someone who is servicing you as well. So next time, try using it on a waitress or a clerk's name, and trust me when I say that you will be serviced better. Not only did you go out of your way to address them as a person and a human being, you'll establish a short-term relationship as well. So number 2, keep in touch. Keep in touch with people. So Facebook, IG, all of that has made it super easy now for people to do that. But back in the day, that wasn't really the case. But say you're out at an event and you're having a nice conversation with an individual that has nothing in common with you other than the fact that you guys are at the same event. You're in different industries, maybe you live in different neighborhoods, and in the short time you spoke, you might even find out you have totally different political views. So in your mind, you're probably saying, I'll take the conversation for what it is and I'll move along with life. No, don't do that. Absolutely no. You ask for a business card, you ask for their number, you follow them. Now make it easy, you follow them on IG or Facebook or some other method, get their email. But this is the biggest mistake people make nowadays. Yes, social media makes it a bit easier to keep in contact or to become Sherlock Holmes and track somebody down on LinkedIn. But be old school for a second and make it deliberate that you keep in touch. Who knows down the line when you might need that person or when they might need you. So I wanted to give an example of this for you guys. So back in summer of 2006, I took a European vacation with my best friend, Erica, who her mom, Elaine, is here. We traveled to about 8 countries in Europe in less than 12 days, and we had an absolute blast. Anyway, while we were in Rome, we were on a mission to find the tombs of the Capuchin monks, a tomb that's made of all human bones. Well, we got lost and we were unable to find our destination. And we walked down the street of Rome, ran to Black people in the middle of Italy. So mind you, we're two young Black girls walking around Italy, so clearly we're standing out like a sore thumb. So imagine when we see a large group of Black Americans, we were drawn to them immediately. We stopped and said, "Hey, are you all American?" And they replied, "Yes, where are you from?" "Chicago," I proudly blurted. "Wow, so are we." One of the guys said, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." We continued the conversation, find out that two of the people in the group worked for Burrell Communications, which was an advertising firm that was a level above my employer at that time, Clear Channel Communications. But more importantly, I found out that one of the guys' names was Rob Jackson, and he was the VP of marketing at McDonald's Corporation. At that time, I had a part-time job at Clear Channel, and I didn't want to work for marketing fast food, so I took his card anyway and went about my business. And eventually, Erica and I found the tomb, and I thought that was going to be it. But then when I returned back to the States, I emailed Rob to let him know that we found the tombs and to let him know that I plan to keep in touch with him. And I did just that. I checked in with Rob about twice a year just to say hi. And it wasn't until I got fired from Clear Channel in 2012 and I was looking for work in 2013 that I reached out to him. And sure enough, Walton Isaacson was looking for a temp account manager to work on the Black McDonald's Operators Association activations at Essence Festival. I reached out to Rob, expressed interest, he set up an interview, and about 2 weeks later, I was hired. This was all on the premise that I kept a card from almost 6 years prior to me meeting him. So number 3, we'll talk about a dream deferred. So we already talked about 6 years. I got that man's card 6 years prior to that, but here we go, a dream deferred. So in a recent article I read, it has been brought to my attention that I'm a geriatric millennial. I literally gasped at the term because that meant I'm at the older end of the millennial spectrum. I'm okay with that, but I had to come to terms with reality that I've lived through the turn of the technological age. So keep in mind, when I started college, we had cell phones, but they were still analog. There was no Facebook. We used LimeWire and Napster. Those were our only versions of streaming music. And MTV Real World and Road Rules, which I don't even think is on anymore. Those were our only reality TV shows. So that gives you the frame of reference. So anyway, in 2006, I came up with the idea of a taboo game, a cultural taboo game, which is called Tip Off, which you guys heard about before. And I didn't actually think I could bring it to life. I just kind of made it as a hobby. But it was other people, mainly people that I didn't know that I would network with, that would push me, that would play the game and hear about the idea and push me to go forward, and supported me just because I opened my mouth and said something to them. It wasn't until 2017 that I actually launched the app. So we're talking about 06 to 2017. But timing is everything. It was just a dream deferred. The same way this entire speech that I've given you today are excerpts of a networking book that I started writing 2 years ago. I've not finished yet, called Handshakes, High Fives, and Hugs. And what a coincidence that we are now living in a world where we aren't allowed to do any of those things. But timing is everything. But time is also of the essence. My generation learned patience because we had no choice. But we learned that unlike our parents, we don't have to wait on everything. However, you all Gen Zers, you grew up in a culture of speed and instant gratification. Well, oftentimes non-Gen Zers look at you guys as being spoiled. It really just means you guys don't take no ish. Look at how much the world has changed in the last 5 years, where people are being more comfortable with communicating and expressing who they truly are and how they really feel. A great deal of that is attributed to young people not wanting to wait on their aspirations and dreams. You all want what you want, and you want it now. And I say, go get it. So keep in mind, remember that everyone is one decision away from having a totally different life. Like, let that sink in. Every decision you make could totally change your life. So don't make any regrets by not opening your mouth and saying what you need. And I just want to say, congratulations, Stephanie. Make good decisions and basically network to the best of your ability. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Hayes.
No
And
problem.
I saw some people were clapping. Maybe we could try another round of virtual applause. And next up for our graduation will be Mofe, and Mofe will be doing a quick introduction to me. Yay! So Mofe will be introducing me, and then we'll go through with 3 videos of me, an introduction to our graduate student, and a short speech by Stephanie. So I'll hand it over to Mofe.
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a really good time. And I would like to welcome everyone to our graduation dinner once again. I'd ask that you guys relax and just enjoy the things we have planned tonight. And so I'd like to enjoy the National President of Make a Difference Youth Foundation, Pranav Nupane. Pranav is a 15-year-old rising sophomore at House Hall Academy. He has been a member of MADYF for more than 2 years now. Pranav's leadership qualities are being used in the classroom, where he's an officer in the Beta Club, a member of the DECA organization, and a member of the Quiz Bowl team, which is a testament to this young man's intelligence and his desire for knowledge. Pranav spends his free time playing his cello, hanging out with his friends, and going hiking too. I'd like to welcome Pranav.
Thank you, Eni. And now I'll hand it over to Carl, who will be presenting our video. Oh, thank you, Mofe. My apologies.
Can everybody see farewell?
Yep.
Yes.
Hi everyone, and welcome to tonight's dinner. My name is Pranav Nopane, and I am the National President of the Make a Difference Youth Foundation. Now, as most of us know, tonight we are gathering here to celebrate one of our MADIF students, Stephanie Escobar, who will be graduating from MADIF and from Rogers High School and continuing her education at the University of Arkansas, where she will be majoring in political science. Now, Stephanie has had an amazing impact anywhere she's been in her community, both in school and out of school. In her school, Stephanie was in many leadership programs, including National Honor Society, DECA, and many clubs as well, including her school's choir. And of course, outside of school, she was in even more, including Arvis First Leadership, Mayor's Youth Academy, her church's retreat team, and of course, as we all know, the Make a Difference Youth Foundation. Now, I cannot speak on behalf of all of these other clubs, but I know that I, as well as everyone else in the organization, can speak all day about her impact on our organization. Since she first stepped foot in our virtual meetings, if you can call it stepping foot, she has always been ready to help, and she has always been an amazing help. I believe one of her first events was when she was fairly new to the organization, and it was called the Positive Image Costume Party. Now, this is an event that is a tradition in MADIF where we have a group of children of all ages who come together and dress up as a figure that they view as having a positive effect on society, and then they write a short speech on why they believe this. And the Positive Image Costume Party is usually an in-person event. For people who are wearing costumes, we have to see the costumes, and we have a little party. But, of course, because of COVID, we couldn't really have any in-person events, and we were thinking, what good's a costume party if you can't have the party part of it? But nevertheless, Stephanie was actually put in charge of this event. She was the leader of the event, and she led us to success. I mean, we had one of our most widespread events of all time. We had people in Chicago, we had people in Oklahoma, we had some people in the meeting even in California and Arkansas. It was nationwide, and we had a really amazing turnout knowing that it was a virtual event as well. And another thing that Stephanie took a huge part in when she was relatively new to the organization was Letters Against Isolation. Now, Letters Against Isolation was an organization that we worked alongside during summer to help deliver and create letters to mail to seniors in senior homes that were isolated and might have felt lonely during the pandemic because they couldn't have family visit them. And this event was already an amazing event, and Stephanie was actually a huge part of it. In our second run through of the event, Stephanie mailed the most letters out of everybody in the organization. And though I never got to read the letters, I'm pretty sure they were pretty darn good. And another event that she's been a part of that's more recent is Senior Games. Now, this is a fun-filled trivia activity that we're once again doing for seniors that may be lonely and isolated during the pandemic, and we're basically making, as I said, trivia questions for them that relate to the time periods that they were children in, so they can have some good old nostalgia. And Stephanie was a huge part in writing the questions for this event, and she did many advertisement questions for the event. And what I'm trying to say out of all this, simply put, I'm just trying to say Stephanie has become a very important part of our organization, and it'll really be difficult to fill her footsteps. And though we are upset about this, every cloud has a silver lining, and I think we can all agree that this silver lining's pretty big. I mean, Stephanie's going to college. And that also means, as we'll be saying our goodbyes to Stephanie, we are a little jealous of the University of Arkansas, who are getting a very hardworking, persevering student to join their ranks this year. We were truly proud to have Stephanie be a part of MADIF, and we are all looking forward to seeing what she will do in the future. So I, on behalf of the Make a Difference Youth Foundation, would like to thank you, Stephanie, for everything you gave to this organization, and we hope that your experience with us as well helped you develop as a person. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all enjoying the graduation dinner so far. I am Esther Lauren Kunle, and I am the president of Make a Difference Youth Foundation, MADYF, Arkansas. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a beautiful and hardworking young lady. She just graduated from Rogers High School, thankfully with distinguished honors. At school, she received the Chambers Award every year, and she took 7 AP courses along with a college course. She also participated in Residence Hall Association (RHA), National Honor Society (NHS), Mu Alpha Theater, the League of United Latin American Citizens (LULAC), Distributive Education Clubs of America (DECA), Link Crew, and Rogers High School Show Choir. She joined MADYF last year as a senior, and within this period of a year, she had contributed tremendously to the organization. She planned the Positive Image costume, helped with Senior Games project, and she also participated in writing letters to senior citizens during the COVID-19 crisis. She plans to go to University of Arkansas to major in political science and further her education by attending law school. Please join me to welcome the only graduate for the school year in our organization, Stephanie Escobar.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Escobar, and I was about to say that I am a senior, but I actually already graduated, which is crazy to say, but I have graduated, and thankfully I graduated with distinguished honors, which is crazy to say because I thought that I was going to graduate with high honors, but when I looked in my bag with all my tassels and everything, I saw the medal, which was an absolute wonderful surprise. I'm very grateful. I've worked hard to get where I am, so I'm very happy about that. Now that I have graduated, I that is so crazy to say, but now that I have graduated, I plan to attend the University of Arkansas, and after a long decision-making process, I have decided to major in political science. That was a very difficult decision for me because originally I thought I would go into education, and then I decided psychology, but after taking a course my junior year for APUS Government Politics, I decided that political science was what I wanted to do. I really just enjoyed the fact that there's always a law to base everything off of. It's very concrete, which I enjoy. So I've decided to go into political science. Afterwards, for my graduate, I hope to go to law school. I'm not sure what type of lawyer I would like to be. I'm probably going to go into immigration. I've always been very passionate about that. My family has always talked about it. It's something that I know I would be helping a lot of people, which is my priority. I am not sure yet though. So I know that any type of lawyer I decide to become, I'll be helping my community and those around me, which is what I would love to do. So as long as I'm a lawyer, I think I'll be happy. I would now like to say my thank yous to this program as a whole, to this entire group, to the adults and the students. I was pleasantly surprised when I first joined this group. I wasn't really sure what to expect. A group that I've ever been in. You guys all you all seemed so professional and you knew everything that was going on, which was really nice to have because a lot of the groups I've been in are very leader based and the leaders are usually adults. But it was really nice to have a group where the students were making the calls and that it was helping the students really grow and have a lot more responsibility, which I think is an amazing thing to have. And I know that going forward, this group will only grow in those aspects. Thank you to the adults for always being there, for always guiding us, making sure that we were on track, but also not being overbearing. That was a relief, like I said. Thank you to the students. You guys helped me a lot. I was very lost at first. I was confused with my role, but you guys all made sure that I knew what I was doing, that I was in check, that I was getting everything done, and I'm very grateful for that, so thank you. I can for sure say that I've grown a lot from this group. I've grown a lot in the way that I really know my responsibilities. I make sure that I have things done on time. I know how to communicate a lot more, which I thought I already knew how to communicate, but this group has showed me a new way to communicate, which I'm very grateful for. So thank you to all of you. A special thank you to Ms. Yoselin because you were the one that actually got me into this program, and it was a surprise, but I'm very grateful that you mentioned it and that I decided to join. Thank you, Carl and Pranav, and just all of you. Carl, you and Pranav really helped me out a lot, so thank you, and Esther as well, but everyone really just made a difference. How ironic. But once again, thank you to everyone. I would say goodbye, but this is not goodbye. I will make sure that I keep in touch because, like I said, this group has brought me a lot of connections and I would love to grow even more from them. So, not goodbye, but thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Stephanie, and thank you, Esther, for your speeches, and thank you, Carl, for creating tonight's video. And I love rounds of applauses, even on Zoom, so let's give one more round of applause for everyone there, too. Okay, and now we'll be moving on to Mr. Mike, who will be presenting his gifts for Stephanie.
Yes, Stephanie, we certainly wish you the best in what you're going to be doing. And we congratulate you on your graduation and all your achievements. And we'd like to present you a small token of our congratulations and appreciation for all the hard work you've put in, and wish you the best at the University of Arkansas. And as a University of Arkansas graduate, I would like to say go Hogs, and look forward to all that you're going to accomplish. So best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. And yeah, another round of applause. I really I love round of applause. I'm sorry. And now I know some of you ordered food for tonight's graduation dinner, and I know that food's been waiting outside for a little bit, and I don't want it to get cold. So now it's time to eat. So if you have any food with you, then we can all eat, and Mr. Johnny and Stephanie's family will be giving their closing remarks while we do so. Thank you.
And we can begin with Stephanie. Did your sister have the speech that she wanted to make on behalf of your family?
Yes, she does. So I will
Okay.
introduce her. So hello, my name is Stephanie. I'm the graduate, and I will introduce my sister Karina, who's sitting right next to me with my family. She will be reading the translated version of my family's remarks. So I will hand this to her.
Hello. So first of all, we would like to thank God for giving us the opportunity to be Stephanie's parents. She has accomplished extraordinary things since she was a little girl. Although life has thrown obstacles her way, she takes each one in stride with a great attitude. Every time she has wanted to give up, she keeps going to reach her goals, and it is something we admire her for. For that, we are very proud of her. She will now start a new chapter in her life, and we are confident that she will continue doing great things. As parents, we only dream of her success, and with her compassion, happiness, and determination, we do not doubt in her ability to achieve her goals. We would also like to thank you all for giving her this opportunity and being supportive of her education.
My parents are here, by the way. Hello. You can kind of see my dad there. Yeah. Thank you. That was really good.
Well, thank you, Stephanie, and your sister. It's been just really a joy having you as part of the group, and we're glad that you honored us with your presence as a senior and a leader. So, we're going to always follow you to make sure that if there's ever anything you need going forward, you let us know, because we'll be here until you graduate from your final destination of education, which might be God knows how long away. Aston, thank you so much for coming out and speaking. Aston is very correct. She was at an event. I was actually on the board of directors for NFL Football Players Foundation, and he asked me to set up a college fair for him in a mall. So we had this huge mall that we were setting up a college fair, and Aston was there with her mother. And I said, hey, you need to be a part of my organization. And obviously she was wondering who this guy is bothering her about some organization. But the interesting thing is the NFL player who was in charge of this entire event actually went to the same college that Aston ended up going to. He was at the University of Miami. His name was Russell Maryland. So, and actually Dr. Adelike's daughter graduated from the University of Miami this year. So there's been a lot of connections to the University of Miami. So Aston stayed with us and became more than just a student as part of our organization. She actually ended up being the best friend of one of our other students that was part of Make a Difference, and she knew Ms. Jones, who's on the call also. So it's when you say it's a small world, when you're in Chicago, there's a lot of people in Chicago. But as Aston remembers, we had students from almost every high school in Chicago, and they were from everywhere, and they still know each other today. And that's the way I want you guys to be also. So, as Aston said, it's been years since she's graduated, but she can still pick up the phone and talk to people from Chicago that went to high school with her years and years ago. And that's the way TFON has been forever. It's when you leave the graduation and we say farewell, it just means farewell on the Zoom call, but we will be in touch with you again, and you'll always be part of the family. One of the things that we've always done during the graduation dinner is that we've announced our officers. That's always been a big part. And we used to have like a rose ceremony, and we had a candle ceremony at one time where we passed the candle of authority from the graduates to the undergraduates. It was really nice. It was kind of dangerous, burning the place down. Everybody had a candle, it's kind of dangerous, but it was really cool. Then we switched from candles to roses, and we had a rose ceremony. So the president of the organization would hand a rose to the new president, which was always such a cool, sentimental thing that, you'd see them hand off the rose. So there's been a lot of traditions. All of our officers are going to pretty much be the same officers, except Carl's going to take over senior vice president for Stephanie. So now Carl will be our senior vice president. Right now, Carl is like the infinity man. He's been in the group since we first started it, And Mike, that's been a long time ago. I don't know how many years ago, but Carl was like a little bitty person, a little young guy, and his sister and brother were part of the group, and he kind of joined along. Carl still isn't in high school. And with all this time we've had this organization, Carl is still not in high school. And the program that you got, if you got a chance to see the program and you saw the video and then some of the things we've done with other videos, Carl's been the one responsible for those things. So people keep thinking Carl is like a junior or a senior, and we're like, no, he's not even in high school yet. So, when you say that you have people that are willing to grow and others who are willing to help them grow, that's you guys' job. That's the thing that makes TFONT different than any other organization is we're not just about sending people to college, which is a good thing. We're about helping you build yourself, build your brand as an individual, and help others build their brand. So there's a bunch of brands on this screen right now, and you guys are building each other. And Stephanie kind of mentioned that in her speech. And that's what I want you guys to always do. I saw a little person on Esther's screen over there with a little head there. That he's going to be a TFONT member too. But that's a family thing that we're going to do and we'll continue to do. I was thinking back that next year is actually the 30th year of Make a Difference. 30 years we've had this organization, and it's just kind of amazing to know that it's still going. In Chicago, I had to leave Chicago to, not that I got chased out or the police were after me or anything, but I had to leave Chicago. And Miss Jones, who's on the call, she took over Make a Difference in Chicago to make sure, she said, even if I'm gone, she would not let the Make a Difference students go without having a full Make a Difference experience. And she made sure they had experience. I looked up, they had meeting places all over the place. They had really nice meeting places. They went different places. They did different things, but she kept the tradition going. And those students are still doing great things because they had the opportunity to continue to be TFONT. So I'm going to let everybody get to their food, but the big thing I wanted everyone to keep in their minds is TFONT is not just a college-bound organization. We're a forever family. And Mike joined us to help us get this started. Dr. Adelike joined us to keep this thing going. Ms. Bolivar has been here forever. She's our smiley face that keeps everybody happy and makes sure that we're all on track. And Pranav joined us as a quiet young man who was very brilliant, but very quiet. Now he's our game show host. He was our MC for the event tonight. You can see the growth in Pranav as a person as he's growing and becoming more confident. Eventually that confidence is going to take him places that he's never imagined. And that's where we want each and every one of you guys. Mofe and Annie are our basketball superstars. They haven't had a chance to be in a lot of the meetings because they've been out dunking all over the place. But, they've been doing things with their school, but they're still part of this family. And, they're doing things that are going to make them more effective and valuable as their years grow. And one person is going to be taking a new role is our young lady named Doris, who's out in New Jersey. She's now going to be our president of national affairs. So although Pranav will be our president nationally, Doris will take over the title of president of national affairs. She'll be our next senior, believe it or not. And I think she's our only next senior. Is anyone else going to be a senior that we know about? I think she's our only senior. But Doris is one of the most promising young individuals you will meet, one of the most brilliant young ladies that you will meet. And, people who come in like our speakers, and she introduces our speakers, and she meets with them before we introduce them. They're impressed. They ask, oh, we met one of your adults. And it's, no, that's one of our students. She's not one of our adults. She's one of our students. But when you get those type of compliments, that people think that you're so well spoken that you must be one of the adults. That's the way we like our TFON students to be seen, represented, and thought about. So Doris will now be taking national affairs, which means that she's going to be focusing more on some of our speakers on a national basis. Pranav is going to keep organizing things nationally to make sure not just our speakers, but that as we get new students and as we grow, he's going to be overseeing the overall network. Esther is going to continue to be our Northwest Arkansas, well, we won't say Northwest Arkansas. She's going to be our Arkansas president, and her senior vice president that's going to work with her is going to be Timmy Tayo. So Carl's going to be the senior vice president national of all of Make a Difference, of all of Teams for New Tomorrow. So Carl, when we say you're senior vice president, just like Stephanie didn't realize, she was our national senior vice president. She was our person that represented us as an organization throughout the nation. Carl, that's going to be you. Even though you haven't made it to high school, one day you will. You know, one day you'll get there. But Timmy Taya, now you're going to take on more responsibilities because you're going to have to work with Esther as we grow Arkansas out. See, even the young man sitting there, he's been clapping for you, Timmy Taya. He's cheering you on. You know, you got a fan club early. So everybody, I'm gonna turn it back over to Pranav. Actually, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Mike to close us out with a prayer, because I know Mr. Mike would love to close us out with a prayer. Dr. Adeleke and Mrs. Bolivar and Lisa, before Mike closes us out with a prayer, could you guys say a few things? These are our board members and the adults that keep us rolling. So we'll start with Dr. Adeleke, we'll go to Ms. Smiles, Mrs. Bolivar, and then we'll go to our board member that's out in California. Lisa's actually out in California, so we'll go to Miss Lisa. So Dr. Adeleke, Miss Smiles, and Miss Lisa, and then Mike, you can take it over and do the closing prayer.
Sure.
Thank you so much for everybody who has joined us today. I have a passion for young people and for the students here at MADYF. And after my daughter graduated from MADYF 4 years ago, I decided that for what I saw that she gained from the organization, it was important that we pay it forward. And that was the reasoning behind me volunteering my Tuesdays to be a part of this organization. And she still continues to do us proud, but part of that has come from MADYF. She graduated last week, Friday, from the University of Miami with a double major in psychology and journalism. And I tell you categorically that the leadership lessons that served her well at the University of Miami were developed from MADYF, because she was a very introverted person living here. And for all 4 years at the University of Miami, she held offices, starting from the residence hall senator to the School of Communications senator, to the speaker of the Senate, and ended up as the president of student government, and led the first all-female executive in University of Miami history. And she was a commencement speaker last week, Friday. And all that, we tie that to God as well as to MADYF. And so for that, I say thank you. And that's really where my commitment has started from, was what I saw in my daughter. So congratulations, Stephanie. And, we got your back. You can always, we're not going to take you off of GroupMe. We're not going to take you off of Teams. Just drop by, say hello, let us know how things are going. But we love you. And we know you will do us proud, and you will do your parents proud. And as a parent, that's always the joy of every parent. Over to Ms. Yoslin.
Okay. I have to be brief, but if I starting to say everything that is in my heart, I will start probably crying. You guys, each one of you, the students, have made me so proud. And then also when I think about you guys growing, I have been growing with you. I see your questions, and I love when you start like little bitty, but then later you are doing such a good job doing presentations and manage the senior games with so much love. Guys, I am amazed about the future because you are there. I know that we will go one day, but I know our future will be totally different because you guys will make a difference. And then what Mr. Johnny said, this is a great family. And then Samantha, you hold me accountable. Everybody that I can introduce MADYF, I do it because I know you guys gain so much with what you do here that there is nothing better. You guys are already vice presidents. You are already seniors. You are already exemplifying and executing the thing that you are going to do in the real future. So for me, it's just a pleasure. And I am so thankful to be part and helping you guys and everything. So I'm going to stop because if not, I will continue crying.
Hi, I am the newest of the adults coming on, and I just wanted to say to the students how absolutely grateful I am that you've welcomed me. I did not have the blessing of having children of my own, and I am so grateful to be able to watch you all on this journey. You have honestly, if this is what we have, if this is the future that I'm going to grow old with, this is exciting. You guys have done a great job, night and day where I was at your age, and I'm absolutely just so grateful to have the opportunity to be part of this journey with you. I know you will all be highly successful, and frankly, hopefully one of you will come into my field and I can hire you at some point. But you all, you've done a great job. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to watch you all through the journey. Stephanie, go get them. You know what? We need people out there representing our communities. Too many people try to go into a profession for and only looking at the financial aspects, and you clearly are looking at the human aspect, and there's a lot to be said for that, and not a lot of people do. So go get them, and we're all here for you.
Thank you.
And Mike, before you get started, I almost forgot my better half over there, our secretary, who takes care of getting so many things done, who spent weeks dealing with the Walmart Foundation to try to get our checks because we had them sent to the wrong place. So I guess 20, 30 emails later, she's finally, and I don't have the patience to do that type of stuff. I'm sorry. I can send 2 or 3 emails. When we get past 3 emails, I'm done. Yeah, who needs the money anymore? I don't care. But Betty, you can kind of say a few things too, because we don't want you to think we left you out. Plus, Miss Yoslin would be very mad if you didn't get a chance to speak.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I tell Johnny on a regular basis how proud I am of the students. I'm really impressed with a lot of the students as they come through. You know, I came to the meetings and some of the students were very quiet, and then after a while you hear them speaking in front of the group. So I'm just always I always pass it on to some of my coworkers and, try to get them involved, but I'm just impressed with all the students and the accomplishments that they've made over the years.
Mike, we'll let you close us out with a prayer.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for tonight and thank you for all the people in this organization, Lord, and everything that they've been able to accomplish. And Lord, it is truly a pleasure to be involved in this. And I pray your blessings on Stephanie as she goes forward in her education and establishing a new career, and those other students in the organization. Lord, pray your blessings on them as they continue to learn and look forward to what they can accomplish in the future. Thank you for all the adults that are working so hard to provide this opportunity. Lord, again, we thank you for this meal that you provided for us, and ask that you nourish us and strengthen us. And Lord, just help us to do your will in everything that we do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Well, I guess that ends this 2021 graduation and our, yeah, there you go. Yay. Yeah. So you guys have a great evening. And I believe it was recorded. So for those who want to actually listen to it again, those videos were amazing. Those were some very good videos. You guys did a very good job. Stephanie, excellent job. Pranav, you look like a CNN, like you were reporting for CNN. And I mean, you just did a great job. And Esther, you did a tremendous job as usual. All of you guys did such a great job. And Aston, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I've always appreciated all the things that you do. Oh, no, thank you, thank you. And Mrs. Jones, thank you so much for being here. And you look so wonderful over there, as Aston pointed out. Yeah, but you always do. Thanks so much. So everybody have a great evening. And Dr. Alika will make the video available to you guys so you can watch it again over and over and over.